5-yard pick six. What do you remember about that play? And do you feel like maybe that was kind of like your introduction as a Razorback?
Man, I just remember the crowd going crazy. I mean, that was like kind of my first game in college, so that was really a crazy experience for me. I really had a good relationship with the War Memorial Stadium, so I'm excited to go back.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you see from them on offense? Like, what are maybe some of their tendencies, or maybe what their coordinator likes to do?
he's a heavy screen player. He likes to keep a simple run game. They depend on their running back a lot, so I see them running the ball a lot.
Mhm. And Talon, you ever been to Little Rock?
I actually been one time when I first got here. Shout out to Mr. Frank Fletcher,
Oh, yeah.
Automotive. Shout out. I went there when I first got here, like I said, and met him. Great guy, and yeah, so I'm excited to go back.
Did you ever have a chance to check out War Memorial? And if not,
Didn't
what have you heard about the stadium and I guess just the Little Rock people? And I don't know if are you familiar with all the tailgating and all that kind of stuff on the golf course, all that stuff they do?
I'm just taking everything in. We just had meetings. I'm sure it's like this is gonna be your first game. This first play. We already got our first play and what we're gonna do. He's like, this is gonna be your first play as a hog, and I'm just gonna take everything in. And I've heard a lot about it. I heard positive things and passionate fan base. So I'm just excited for that first kickoff and hearing calling the hogs.
I bet it feels like it's been forever, just waiting for this game to finally get here. And just your thoughts on, finally playing a different opponent, putting the helmet on, wearing, Arkansas across your chest for the first time. Just your thoughts on that finally getting here.
I'm extremely excited, to be live too, to run and to make people miss. But I'm also excited that I don't got to go against him, making my job harder than what I'm used to. But I'm glad every single day that I get to face Brad and this great defense that he makes. I mean, they make my job hard. They make us work for it. And that's why I always tell the defense. We don't have any easy way out, and so that's what I like.
Thanks, fellas. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Brad, we just had Landon on, and he sounded like the green dot on defense could be you and could be Jaden. Have you guys come to a decision on that?
I'm pretty sure Jaden Johnson for sure has it. They're deciding out of the linebackers who to have it. I'm not sure who's going to have it. It might be me, it might be Steven Dix, it might be or
So it could possibly move around during the course of a game.
yeah.
Okay. Have you experimented with it, and what have you thought of it?
I had it a little bit in the spring, and it was pretty decent. It was something I was new to, so it was something that really helped the defense. And with the 15-second game clock, I feel like that's a big game changer for the defense. So it
In
was
what way?
pretty.
In what way, Brad? That 15 seconds is a game changer.
Yeah.
But how is it a game changer? Like it helps the defense, or
It communicates with the whole defense with the crowd interaction. So we like get to home in on ourselves and get to know the call more quicker, more faster than trying to look to the sideline for a signal and it's tempo or something like that. So it's really a game changer for the defense.
gotcha. Taylor, we talked to Coach Petrino about this
And
very
welcome in
thing
here
last
live
week.
at 2190 MLK Boulevard. We're here at C-Max Southern Kitchen, newly opened location here in Fayetteville, Arkansas on 2190 MLK Boulevard. A beautiful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon for our show as we let you hear sophomore linebacker Brad Spence and junior quarterback Taylon Green in preparation for this tomorrow night. We're just a little bit over 24 hours away from kickoff 6:30. Now tomorrow we will be here from 11 to 12, but Demetrius and I are going to do an early show, let you guys send in throughout the show predictions of the game, players of the game, and then we'll see if we can work out something here with C-Max. Whoever wins, maybe you can come in and get a C-Mac burger and an order of fries is what we'll do. We'll try to set that up. But we're going to be in here from 11 to 12. Now, that's just on tomorrow because we have to travel down to cover the UAPB Arkansas football game. And then on Friday night, you can tune in to our YouTube channel as well, as the Fayetteville Bulldogs, I believe ranked number 2 in the state, defending state champions, will be live broadcast. And CMAX 2 will be one of the title sponsors of the Fayetteville Bulldog football broadcast. We'll be on the air at 7 p.m. Kickoff will be at 7:30, and we'll see if the Dogs can repeat. What you thinking?
Yeah, I got a chance to go back and talk to my guy, Devonta Britt, and we sat down and chopped it up, and he said there's a chance, man. We still got to suit up and play those games, but when you're talking about on paper and what they think they have internally inside that locker room, they think they have a good chance of winning it.
Now, going forward, next week, the show will be moving. We'll be moving it into a high school Bulldog Casey Dick football show that will air from 6 to 7 on Wednesday nights. We'll talk to players, coaches, and just keep everybody up to date with the Fayetteville Bulldogs. And it will also be here live on Wednesday evening here at 2190 MLK Boulevard. So if you got any Bulldog fans, anybody want to talk about the Bulldogs, please come down and enjoy that great spirit night, as I'm pretty sure it'll be a sea of purple and it'll be a dog's world.
Pat, let's show a little love to the JV. Tell me about the JV game. I know you talked about a couple of players.
Wynn had a chance. Wynn watched the freshman squad and the JV squad on Monday night. They were up at Rogers Heritage opening their season. And I'm going to tell you, there's a guy named Terrence, a freshman running back, 7 touches, 4 touchdowns, 3 of them 65 yards plus. And that was a freshman team. This team put up 48, won the game 48-14. And then the JV squad, with the numbers that Fayetteville has, they got running backs. I mean, if you're Casey Dick, and if you're in the city of Fayetteville, you have to be proud. This football program is standing on real solid ground with the coaching staff that they have, Devonta Britt, Derek Davis, new offense coordinator Mike Volovich, Cags, our guy, the running backs coach, Coach Wood, offensive line. Coach Jeff Bowerman, my high school teammate, great linebacker coach. All he does is just send a linebacker a year to play collegiate football. Whom else we're missing? Corey Harris, Coach Davenport, Zach and Justin Jordan. Just a great staff. Aiden Thornberry, the GA. Just a great staff that Coach Dick has put together over at Fayetteville. Will it be tough? I think Fayetteville's biggest thing, Demetrius, is they have to be mentally prepared to go through this long season. This is going to be a very long season. But the thing I've always shared with people is this senior group had a chance to play as sophomores coming off the runner-up state championship and championship game, and then last year having won it their junior year. So they've seen both sides of the spectrum. I still think, and I'll say it and stand on, and when I say SOB, it's stand on business, if you hear me say that. I'm not saying the negatory word, but Fayetteville Conway is what I foresee when we get this thing wrapped up that first weekend in December.
Well, I think the tall task for me, I think, is leadership. I think
yes.
They're going to have the leaders
seniors.
They're going to have the leaders internally in that organization really taking control. That was what you've seen a lot of when you talk about the Janskys,
right.
the Lindsays of last year. Those guys really took control of their team. That was a player-led team. They really housed and policed the team, and that was a lot of things that Casey didn't have to take hold of, even when it came to like players,
right?
Not buying into the system. The players handle that, and I think if they can bring that same type of energy, I don't think it's an on the field thing with this team. I think on the field they stack up against anybody, probably. In outside states,
right.
Outside of Arkansas, they probably could compete with a lot of teams. So I think this year their thing is, can we internally keep our team in check, and do we have the leaders to lead us to another state championship?
Well, we're really looking forward to this season. The senior class, by the way, 20-4 heading into their final campaign. Got some real good things going on with that program. But over back to Razorback football. Nick Lee, one of our proud viewers and always a great guy with great questions and comments, 55-6. He thinks, do you think they're going to cover the spread? I don't think they're going to cover that spread. Also, too, real quick before we comment on that, Billy Harper said, good afternoon, guys. It's like Christmas Eve for me. WPS.
Hey, I know the feeling. It was good this weekend, just really being able to see College Game Day come back that Georgia Tech and Florida State game, it was just exciting. You knew it was football season. Just the energy, just having something to do on a Saturday. You wake up anticipating to see your favorite team, and now you have something forward to every weekend.
Another thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow night,
What's that?
or early. I'm looking forward to Arkansas facing their first adverse moment in tomorrow night's ball game. However big or small, but I want to see how this team responds. I think they're going to respond quite well. People are going to be excited about this football team.
Pat, I just want to see complete dominance. I really do.
I don't think they'll cover the spread. I just don't think Arkansas will cover the 50-plus point spread. I mean, when you're playing Oklahoma State the week after, no reason to go out there and
but I think
a statement that big.
To me, I think you should be able to make that type of statement with a limited playbook.
Right.
I don't think you should. You don't have to go in and show any secrets or your scheme. I think now it boils down, and that's why I say complete dominance. This should be Arkansas should physically dominate this game. This should not be a game where you're not seeing that line of scrimmage, offensive line get that push that you want, where guys should have gaping holes where they should be able to run through from the running back standpoint.
I think you'll see all that.
And I think they keep it on the ground.
I'm just being a nice guy and hoping.
No. See, being a nice guy.
I could see him.
Nice time is over. Arkansas has had 2 bad years. They don't have the time to be a nice guy. I think they have to come in.
You think that 7-6 year was a bad year?
What? Pat, come on, bro. Come on, man.
It could have been a lot better.
Come on. What is 7-6? What is that?
It could have been a lot better.
What is that? That don't even get you to the playoffs, Pat.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better.
That doesn't.
Now with the new 12 teams,
7-6 doesn't get you in.
Yeah,
it doesn't get you to the playoffs.
I say if you can, I think with this new 12-team playoff, and people chime in if you disagree or agree. I think 2 losses can keep you in it. 3 losses, you're done. If you're a 3-loss team before the season's over, you're done. I think you can hang around with 2 losses. I think with the way parity is hitting throughout not only just the SEC, but it's spreading throughout all of college football, a 2-loss team can get in there. 3-loss, not a snowball's chance in heck will that happen.
And I think those 2 losses depend on who you lose to.
Absolutely.
I don't think
Good
you could
point.
just go
Good
in there
point.
and say,
Good
hey,
point. That's a good point, right.
there's a 9-2 team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or a 10-2 team that you can say go in there, and it's like, no, these losses that I do accumulate do matter. They absolutely matter, especially when you're talking about teams that you're gonna have a lot of teams this year around the same record.
So my question now, if there's 2, name me 3 teams or 2 teams that you think could go undefeated in the SEC. Who are the only teams? I know one. I mean, obviously
you got to say Georgia,
obviously. But who's that second team, if there's another that could possibly run the table this season and go undefeated? That's a tough one. The only one I see is Georgia.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think there's
Texas, maybe.
I don't know. I don't think Texas has the depth just yet. I'm not saying they don't have players, because they absolutely have players. I just don't think they have the depth across the board to go over a 12-game schedule and not miss a beat. I don't think they're there yet.
Nick says there better not be any trick plays. Well, Bobby's always going to throw it. He's always got a little trick play. That's a Bobby Petrino staple in his offense. I mean, he's going to do one of those every single weekend.
And Nick, the only reason I know they're probably going to throw some type of quote-unquote trick play is because JJ's a former quarterback. You don't have a former quarterback at the running back position and not throw a wrinkle in there somewhere and allow him to utilize his full athletic talent. And I think Bobby's the guy that wants to go outside the box. He doesn't want to limit this team to being, hey, we're a pass-happy team, or hey, we're a run team. I think he really wants to be a multifaceted offense. And he's going to pull out all the stops, because I think Arkansas doesn't have the means to not pull out all the weapons this year. I think this is the year. If they were to do anything and everything, they have to pull out all the tricks and stops this year.
Well, make sure y'all get on down here. We're here live at 2190 MLK Boulevard. It's the second week of the second store opening of CMAX Southern Kitchen. They got all the food you need. You need po' boys, they got it. You need chicken wings, they got it. You need fish, they got it. What else? They got burgers. They got French fries. Tacos. You name it, you can get it down here at 2190 MLK Boulevard. We're going to take a real quick break. It's talking season. We'll be back.
The last day of talking season, baby.
First week of games with Coach Petrino or Coach Pittman about, might not be this week, but in the future on the road, adjusting the noise with the communications.
I mean, since fall camp, we've been doing crowd noise and practice and pricing like the decibels. So I mean, I feel like we've done a great job of being in that atmosphere, and we've been like tuning like the volume and the pitch and going back and forth what works and what doesn't. So I feel like we've done a great job in preparation, and we just gonna see the first weekend, the second week of what works and what doesn't.
And I know you mentioned before in talking to us just how much of a goal it was to play, SEC big time football when you enter the transfer portal. What are the emotions like now, 2 days away from stepping on that field as an SEC quarterback?
This is why I came here, just wearing the red and white, and I'm excited, like I said, for this opportunity. I feel like it's really gonna hit me when we take off, on tomorrow on the bus ride, and just the nerves and just the butterflies. But I feel like we've done a great job of preparation. So I feel like once we step on that field, it's go time. We got, I know a lot of people count us out, but everybody in this room, everybody in this facility believes in what we have, and that's what we're gonna showcase on Thursday.
And Brad, just kind of based off what Taylor kind of said, everybody counting you guys out. I mean, I know you want to ignore the media and try and lock in, but it has to seep in a little bit. Just how much motivation is there with, maybe some of the low expectations and the noise are kind of around the program right now?
It's kind of like a fuel to us. I mean, it's my motivation for sure, and I hope the team also has that motivation of like being left out by the media and all that. So, going into the season, we have to prove everybody wrong, and go hard.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Bob. All you.
Elder always saves the best for last. Taylor, Bobby Petrino, he won a lot of big games. He won some real big games in Little Rock, knocked off LSU a couple times, one time to clinch the Sugar Bowl bid. What sense have you gotten from Bobby, maybe about how excited he is wanting to be coaching back at Arkansas and going to Little Rock? Has he told you about, games in Little Rock?
I would say just the history. When we watch our install tapes, when we watch, plays, it's in that stadium. And, like you said, the LSU and, with Mallet and, everybody he's coached. And just the thing that I've taken from him this whole week, this game week, just the preparation that he has. We walked in on Monday, he already had, the game plan and just what we're going to, do.
And welcome back here live at 2190 MLK Boulevard here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The place to be for this Wednesday. I'm a little bit ahead. Once again, for those that have just tuned in, we will be on the air here live during our Talking Season show on the Hill Media from 11 to 12.
Pat, man.
Then we will be hitting the road, dog.
Talking Season and tomorrow.
No, that's the name of the show. I changed the name.
No,
Because it could be with Pat Jenkins, but I just can't do that. How can it be
talking season and talking? There's no more talking. It's playing season.
That's always talking season.
No.
You always have something to talk about.
No, it ain't talking.
But, we'll be here 11 to 12. Then we'll be off, heading to War Memorial for the 6:30 p.m. kickoff. I believe you can catch the game. I think it's on ESPNU. I think that's where you can catch tomorrow night's opening kickoff. Arkansas, first SEC team to get their season started. Now, the good thing about it, they will have an extra 2 days to get ready for what I believe a very good Oklahoma State team, top 20 team, and well worthy of it. I mean, it's going to be a very experienced team. So to get those 2 extra days, I think are going to be really, really good for this football team. But tomorrow night, you just kind of want to see. Because I thought even in that game last year it was a lopsided, but they it was an ugly win. It was a big win. I think Arkansas won by more than 20.
They started playing good in the fourth quarter. It was in the fourth quarter that they started.
It was ugly. I think this football team is going to play with a chip on its shoulder. But like I said, you just want to see how this group handles their first adverse moment in tomorrow night's game. I think you're going to see a lot of players playing. I mean, it's going to be hot. And it only helps with the depth. I mean, you have to play a lot of football players with today's brand of football, and everybody's going to tempo offenses and things like that. But just get out of the game healthy is all I want them to do. Just get out of the game. Just get out healthy. Billy Harper, there's been a lot of 2-loss teams in the past that should have been in the playoffs. I like Washington. But in all honesty, if we would have had the 12 playoff last season, Georgia would have been in and won the national championship. Yeah, I think I can agree with that. I think if Georgia would have gotten in, that team would have had a three-peat going on. I really do. I think they got screwed and should have got in anyway. I mean, me personally. To have the dominance that they had over a 2-year period and then lose that one game, I mean,
Pat,
come on.
You're the one that's always talking about, well, it's not the year before, so I don't care about your
Texas,
dominance.
Alabama
year.
to me should not have gotten in. That's just me.
Based off what? Tell me why they shouldn't have got in. And you can't say the past.
I think Alabama, I think Georgia had a better body of work, and I think Texas had a better body of work. I think just the body of work. When you looked at the totality of both their schedules, those two teams played a lot tougher.
Let's go back and look at the schedules from last year to see if that's accurate.
Yeah, I'm just Man,
Because you can't just say they had a better body of work. You got to give me reasons why they got a better body
Billy
of work.
Harper, yep, it is ESPN. You man, I didn't even look that up. Thanks, Billy, for sharing that with me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Outside of
All right.
Landon Jackson, who is the most important defensive player on this team this season? Outside of Landon, because Landon's the first one.
I had to say somebody in the secondary.
I mean, he's a bona fide. Landon Jackson's name will get called the first day of the NFL draft.
I think whoever's going to be the number one corner, I think that's the next position that we can't go without on defense. We got to have a good pass rusher.
I love Cuddy and Jalen at the corners. I love those two. Those are who will be the second most important player on the Arkansas defense. Nick Lee says Metcalf.
See, nah, it can't be Metcalf. Y'all got Hudson Clark starting over him. It ain't gonna be. How can it be Metcalf? He got to split reps with Clark.
Second most important player. Brad Spence. No. I'm gonna say Xavion Sorey. I'm gonna say the transfer from Georgia. I think Xavion Sorey is going to have a 5-star type of season. I think he'll live up to what the hype was coming out of high school. I think Xavion Sorey will be the second most important player on this team, followed by Cuddy Robinson in the secondary. Those three just exude confidence and maturity. I think that this team's going to need. Now, I know Xavion being a sophomore, you wouldn't think, but being in the program and surrounded by the players and where he came from, I mean, he understands on a higher level, I should say, how you have to produce. And I think Xavion Sorey, in my opinion, will be the second most important player. Billy Harper says, I would say that Ole Miss might be an SEC team that can run the table, but Arkansas is going to beat them. But it doesn't matter. Okay. Ole Miss just doesn't have. I'm of the belief. Ole Miss, Missouri are going to be the two biggest flops. So I'll continue to say it.
I had to go back
season.
and check. I wanted to make sure. So Alabama played just as many ranked teams as Texas did last year.
Yep.
So the only game that really separated their schedule was the national championship game.
See, I think Alabama. When you look, if you would have looked at Arkansas, that game shouldn't have been close. We were not of that standard.
I'm talking about why you say
just
Alabama
like when you look
shouldn't
at
have
the
been.
body of work, like the closest in those games, if you break those games down, like look at each game, and Alabama, they struggle to win a lot more games.
But
than
it doesn't.
Texas
A win
did.
is a win. You don't
That's
look back.
just what
You
I was
don't look
saying.
back and say, "Well, they won by 2 points."
So when
No.
I look at it, I would have looked at it like difficulty of the wins throughout the season.
But then you would have to go back to conference. Look what conference they
Texas
played
didn't
in.
have it. I mean, well, you have to. Hey, not would have went by.
So what are we talking about?
What I would have went by is head to head, and then the difficulty of their conference. Unfortunately,
so then it would have been the SEC. You can't say the SEC
I
is the
wouldn't put
best.
Alabama in, but like I said, it's sports. In sports, just to agree to disagree. I mean, I wouldn't have put them in, but they won their way in by winning the SEC.
The hardest conference that you're saying is the best conference in college football.
They earned it.
So how can't they?
I wouldn't put them in, but like I said, I'm just. That's just. I mean, everybody
Man, I wish I had a
sees
sound
things
effect
differently.
right now. I hit that thing.
Yeah, everybody sees things differently. But I do think, like I said, I'll go on record saying Ole Miss and who else did I say the biggest flops this season? Ole Miss and Missouri will be the two biggest flops in the SEC this year. I'll go on record to say they won't finish. They'll finish at least each will finish 3 spots lower than where they were predicted. At least 3 spots.
I
lower.
don't know. I don't know about that. Lane feel very confident the way he been acting on Twitter and all these social medias. Lane Kiffin is confident in his team right now. I'm positive about that.
But I think every coach is confident.
No, I was laughing. Did you see where they said he shared the guy that wrote the story about Ohio State having the $20 million national championship team?
Man, that's crazy.
What do you think? What's your take on Ohio State? Because that's a team that we haven't. I think we're
That's
so
a team
consumed.
you're gonna have to be. You have to
I think
deal
we're
with.
so focused on the SEC
No,
that we don't.
Ohio State,
we don't acknowledge a lot of these other programs.
To me, they got it right. Ohio State and Georgia are the top 2 teams in the country. It's not even close. I think that's my championship ball game. Ohio State and Georgia playing for the national title this year. That's who I've got pegged. I think Ohio State
I think that'll be a good game, though.
I think that'd be a hell of a game.
And I'm looking at TV ratings.
Talent-wise.
I'm looking at TV ratings. You're talking about two major.
They might have to clear out a whole section just for the NFL scouts to come to that game.
It's definitely a lot of talent. It's definitely. Hold on, let me go look at Ohio State's schedule. Let me go check out their schedule, see who they looking like. Ohio State, because they ranked number 2. Let's see who they got. Let's go.
Oh, Billy Harper. Okay, you say Cam Ball. That could be a strong consideration. I forgot about 5.
I'm with you.
About 5.
I'm with you, but nah, fam.
That could
Five
be a strong
ain't taking over the
consideration.
game like that. I'm sorry. Five is definitely a role player.
Now, I
but-
will say this, though. I think if there's 2 players you can't take out of the game a lot rotational-wise is going to be Cam and Landon. I think those 2 are going to have to really, really be inside there for a duration. I think Cam Ball's going. I think those 2 kids will have all SEC season.
And there's no disrespect to Cam, and I wish him a healthy full season. But I can't credit that to him because the health. I got to make sure he stays healthy and get through the season because there's been times in the past that he's missed.
Boy, another guy.
A lot of games.
Guy we're not even talking about is Eric Gregory. I mean, old Mr. Unsung himself. I mean, all this guy does is just show up with his head down, never causing problems, and just showing up for the Razorback football program. For going on now his 6th season, this guy could be ready. I think that defensive line, I'll say it. And
You said Eric Gregory?
Eric Gregory.
Yeah, I give you that. I can definitely see that. Even when I look at the starting rotation, I can definitely see him being the guy that is.
They just have that defensive front, man. They got something different. And you've heard it echoed throughout the players. Coach T. Will mentioned it. Some of the offensive linemen have mentioned it. That defensive line has a chance to really, really be special this year and, I mean, for the foreseeable future. I mean, Deke Adams done a great job building that room.
I'm going to change mine to Danico Slaughter. You know, earlier I said –
see the starter for Tennessee. I can see it.
And the reason why I said that is I said they can't go without that defensive line, and I said that corner. Those are the 2 positions that they cannot miss on the Arkansas defense. And I'm gonna go to Danico Slaughter because he plays that cornerback position. You know,
and you also have to take it in fact. I mean, Arkansas is getting 2 guys, Danico and Addison Nichols, that both started at their positions respectively for Tennessee. I mean, you're getting SEC starting quality type of transfer talent. I mean, you go throughout the roster on the depth chart and look at all the starters or second teamers that are from the transfer portal. Since this staff on the defensive side and offensive side has gotten there, I mean, the majority is transfer guys out of your top 24. I know at least 18 or more are probably starting or in your top 2. That just goes to show the way college football is going. It's become older. It sucks if you're a high school 3, a mid-major 3 or a low 4-star kid because now, I mean, you have to really, really be like – and I will make a note. I said yesterday – that Bradley Shaw was the only true freshman. That's not true. Selman Bridges and T.J. Metcalf's brother Tevis will also be 2 freshmen.
Yep, he's in the
lineup that are going to be in the 2 deep.
Matter of fact, I think he's behind Danico, if I'm not mistaken. He's the number 2 behind Danico Slaughter.
Yes, so I had to correct that I did not give you the proper information. So when you look at it, you could probably see up to maybe offensively and defensively about 5 to 7 true freshmen playing tomorrow when you count C.J. Brown, because you'll see number 17. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind C.J. Brown will be in that lineup. And then Braylon Russell. I think you'll see number 0 in that backfield toting the pigskin.
Braylon, yeah. He gonna get some touches.
Which is good. I mean, you're not playing a lot of the true freshmen. That speaks to the depth and maturity and experience of your football team. When you don't have to play a lot of the younger guys and they can sit that year and go through the maturation process. And then, get those whiskers as they go.
But I honestly see the freshmen that they do play, they're home run hitters. I think they're guys that are actually going to contribute. It's not going to be guys trying to, get game experience. These are going to be guys that come in making a immediate impact on the game. C.J. Brown, he's going to be a guy that comes in making plays. Yes, it's going to kind of take him time to get acclimated to the game, but you heard Petrino say, I mean, this the only thing this kid needs to do is get in football shape so that he can fight his way through the mental errors of, hey, I'm tired. And, again, I think a lot of these freshmen, the coaches have high regards to them and they have high expectations as far as how they'll impact this team this year.
I can't think of a time, and this is for our listeners, because a lot of people you hear the 4, the 5, the 6 win, but can you ever think of a time in the last 5 or so years that this team has had so many offensive game changers and so many defensive game changers, and the depth and rotation, being able to rotate 8 to 9 linemen or 8 to 9 in the secondary or so. I mean, they're going to have a lot of numbers rotate, and I can't think of a time here since probably before Bobby Petrino, them having the numbers to be able to rotate like they have. This is going to be a deep team, athletic team, and I think without doubt this is going to be Coach Pittman's fastest team and more SEC ready. When you look at them linebackers, them dudes look like linebackers. I mean, I'm no disrespect to Bumper Pool, Grant Morgan and those guys, but when you look at this collection of linebackers, you say, yep, that's what they look like in this conference. That's exactly how they run in this conference. That's how they hit. The guys that he's going to rotate are going to do some really big things. I mean, really big things. I'm excited about this team, and I think they're really excited. As we had that one question, and we keep saying it. Asked, I think it was Armstrong, about the 7 national quality teams, 7 national opportunities that they look at. This team just has a chip and an edge about them that I think people will start to really understand as this season gets a little deeper. And I think you'll start hearing a little more chatter after Stillwater a week from Saturday.
It has to. I think, again, those are components, and the media is a component about how they see you when it comes to being ranked. They have to have the media talking about Arkansas by that Auburn game. They're going to need to have the national media saying, hey, Arkansas is a better team than we had. Because if you're not hearing that conversation, that's kind of telling you what direction our team is going.
This is how I say 8, because I firmly believe they won 4 games last year, and you're going to tell me a Bobby Petrino offense can only win you 1 more game with the defense that they play, people? You're gonna convince me that Bobby Petrino is only worth 1 more win to their season? Bobby Petrino to me is worth at least 3, possibly 4, but I know 3 more, which gets you to 7. But you're gonna tell me
I give you that, Pat.
The guru of all gurus is only going to muster up 1 more win? Nah, I have a hard time believing that.
The only reason I say that because I don't know where we're getting on the offensive line, man. If I halfway thought I knew what we had on the offensive line, I would. Because what you just said is a true statement. Like, no shade. That was 100% accurate statement of Bobby alone. He ain't even playing on the field.
Right.
You're talking about the off the field adjustments to win 3 more games.
Right.
But I'm not sure.
When you look at this offensive line.
Not sure, Pat.
And I don't know how many people are off into the recruiting.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But every single guy that started on this offensive line on Thursday night would have come out of high school 4-star or higher with that as his title. Meaning that this kid was highly recruited when he was coming out of high school.
Pat.
Most of these guys are starters. Outside of Amarian Harris.
Pat.
Every single guy.
How many 5-stars have we
played
seen come to college football and don't live up to expectations?
But I'll say all this to say is Sam Pittman feels really good. The guru of offensive line feels good about his guys. But I think when you're coached by him and Mateos, it's a little bit different. When you're coached by somebody that's known to be a great offensive line coach, he's going back to his roots, and you have those guys. I saw what they were able to do with Ragnow, Trey Tola, Skipper, Kirkland. I saw what those two were able to do under Brett Bielema when those two teamed up. I mean, all those guys went on and had a chance at the NFL, and you can just kind of tell that these kids, the one thing about this team and this whole entire group is they believe in what their coaches are telling them and asking them
I
to
give you
do.
that.
It's the
For sure.
buy-in.
Absolutely.
When you're coachable, good things happen to you. And this is a absolutely this is a great team. This is a good team. I mean, very coachable. I'm just excited to see what this team can accomplish. I mean, this team is going to have their own stamp. This team is not – they don't – when you ask them questions in the media, they really don't talk about 23, and that goes throughout the coaching staff as well. I mean, they're all focused on having their feet in 2024, and I think it's going to pay well. This team, to me, is going to be a real successful team. I really do. I really believe. But, hey, we're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll come back. It's talk season, live from C-Max Southern Kitchen here at 2190 MLK Boulevard.
Prepared every single day, you know, because I don't got no excuse. You know, the plays I were running is the plays I were running.
And then I was going to ask you guys about Marion Harris, and obviously telling you play with them. And Brad, if you want to chime in, if you don't, that's fine too, because I know you're on defense. But it sounds like he's going to start. He's a Little Rock guy. You know, maybe he wasn't looking like a starter back in the spring. Just what have you thought about his camp and what's put him in this position, and you know what your expectations are for him?
I'll say he's done a great job, you know, stepping up, you know, whether it's, you know, fall camp and even in the spring. He's always prepared, you know, always has a smile on his face, and, you know, any question that he has, he's not scared to, you know, ask it. And, you know, he meshes well, you know, with, you know, what we have. And I'm just, you know, extremely proud, and, you know, can't wait for him to, you know, showcase what he's been working on day in and day out, you know, since, you know, everybody got here in the spring.
Yeah, I also feel like he, being from across the ball, I feel like he also grew as a player. You know, I call him Big E, so I feel like I feel like he grew as a player too, as an offensive lineman. I see him in the scheme. I think he fits it really well.
Let's get one more for you guys. Sam told us Monday he's not gonna, you know, team didn't vote on captains before the season like is usually the norm. He wants to have game day captains rotate around, give different guys different chances. Just wonder what y'all each think of that. Taylor, you go ahead.
I got you. I feel like that speaks volumes to, you know, this team. You know, just we have so many leaders, and, you know, not just, you know, the starters. You know, it's the second string, third string. You know, it's just we have a great team, and, you know, a great leaders, and, you know, you can't be a leader unless, you know, bring everybody up. And, you know, that's what, you know, I love that everybody, you know, and that's what I like about the coaches. They gave us the opportunity, you know, whether in the spring or in the summer, you know, to be a player-led team. And that's why I feel like the greatest teams is, you know, because the coaches are on the sidelines, but we're the ones playing. So we have to, you know, communicate and, you know, speak up when, you know, things are right and when things are wrong.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Taylor was saying, I feel like the team should be player-led. You know, we the ones out there playing, so I feel like the team should be led as a unit, you know, all together.
Okay, I'm good. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right.
And welcome back here live at 2190 MLK Boulevard. We're here at C-Max Southern Kitchen. Week 2 of the new opening here in Fayetteville. Now, they do have a location in Town at 7420 West Sunset Avenue. They will have one open here soon on at the Thompson location. And then they just got a few more. But for right now, we're right here, and we just let you hear some more of Brad Spence and Taylor Green. And we want to get, before we get out of here, we want to get to some of our comments. These are real good, Demetrius. I mean, the conversations these people sent in, absolutely amazing. That's why we love you guys. Nick says UAB. Okay, better not try tricks. Okay. Billy Harper said, okay. Billy Harper said, I was okay. Where did we pick up at? Tommy Atkins, not to mention no name on. He was talking about another media outlet said 5. Nick came back, won't say the media outlet's name, the person's name, but Nick came back. Billy also says when people watch the Hogs this season, they are going to say, wow, didn't see that coming.
Pat, let's comment on that comment for a second. I think that can go both ways.
Yeah.
I think this can be. I didn't see this coming as, oh wow, they lost.
Yeah.
More than what I thought, and then it can go in a good way, as in they surpassed my expectations. I didn't think when Bobby came here they were going to do what they were going to do.
So I think a lot of people. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say that it goes both ways for me on that. I'll be surprised.
That's what, and we look, and like I said, look at the schedule. It could go good, it could go bad, but I think this is going to be a very successful football season for the Razorbacks. I just, with the schedule and the way it lays out, because when people say it's a tough schedule, I mean, I get that they're at you. I get Oklahoma State, but then again, I also see Auburn and then neutral site. There's not one weekend throughout the season that this team has to do what they did last year, which was was asinine, that they had to play almost a month away from home. That was a gauntlet of all gauntlets. I mean, you're at Little Rock, neutral. Then you're at Oklahoma State. Then you're back here. And then you're on the road, and then you're at another neutral site, which Dallas, Texas, in that area has the second largest Razorback alumni group in all of the country. So that's basically another neutral site, just like playing in Little Rock. And then you're going to come back, and then you're back here in Fayetteville. You take a break, and then you're back home versus LSU. And then you're on the road at Mississippi State, and then you're back home versus Ole Miss. You take your break, and then you play Texas and Louisiana Tech at home, and then on the road to Missouri. So what my 8-4 is, if this team can win a game, and say you flip that Auburn or that Oklahoma State game, and then you get one of those, two of those three, you're possibly looking at maybe a 9-win season. I mean, because like I said, you don't have any back-to-back games, and then when you come out of that A&M game, you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your last 7 happen to be in state.
If they handle business the first 4 weeks of the schedule,
this team will win.
Fine.
This team will win. I'm going to stand on it.
They will be just fine if they handle the first 4 weeks of the season.
Bobby Petrino is just better than one win. He's going to improve one. The
first 4 weeks will tell us everything we need to know.
One thing we always know, and this is the history tells you, when Bobby Petrino has his type of quarterbacks, we know how that story ends.
Hey, Billy Harper says, I meant that as a positive wow.
You know, when Bobby Petrino has had a Ryan Mallett, a Lamar Jackson, when he's had his type of quarterbacks, a lot of success follows in that program. But, hey, check it out. You see what we eating? This is the fish with the corn nuggets and the hush puppies. A fish plate right here at C-Max. It's different, people. I'm telling you. It's different. It's really, really different.
Hey, so since we doing our end, we coming to the end of the show. Everybody got to drop their score predictions so we can give away the
Nick
free
said
lunch
too
plate.
many home games. We'll do the free lunch plate on tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So be sure to tune in. We'll be here 11 to 12, throwing your predictions. We'll go back through, and whoever comes closest, we'll work it out to where you can come right here, or we'll get you set up at the Tawny Town location and get you a C-Mac burger and some French fries. We'll start it off that way.
Or fish plate.
Yeah, or fish plate.
Or fish plate.
That's what we'll do. And make sure you tune in tomorrow. Now, you have to tune in tomorrow. You can't be sending it in. We have to see it before the show cuts off at 12 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, because we're coming in early. Yep. Tomorrow the show's early.
We're not trying to see anything after. No, the deadline is 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Hey, look, don't inbox me talking about, hey, I just want to.
No. That's like if you when the electric company shuts off at 5:30 and you show up at 5:31. No, that's what it is. But hey, we're gonna wrap it up. Y'all come on down here at C-Max Southern Kitchen. Get you some good food. I'm telling you, they have it all, and there's not anything on the menu you won't eat. I promise you.
It's good food.
I promise you.
Good
we want
food.
to thank our guy, Chris McMillan and the family, Rusty, his wife, as well, Tiffany, Amy, all all the great support that they give us here, and we're so looking forward to a great partnership.
All right.
A long time.
So Pat, we got loyal listeners saying that they have to work at that time. So look. This is what we'll do. If you can get it in the inbox too. I know I just said you couldn't get it. If you get it in the inbox, before the end of the show tomorrow, we'll consider you. Nick, I'm doing this for you because you're my guy. I'm doing y'all thank Nick for allowing y'all to get off the air submissions.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
So tomorrow, make sure you put your score prediction in, and we'll make sure whoever is the closest will win the fish plate or the C-Max burger.
Yes, absolutely. And then we'll make sure you get it Monday. This upcoming week, we'll make sure that you come in right here. We'll be here next week from 1 to 2. We can make sure that you even sit in and eat with us.
Oh yeah. Come in on the show. Come in on the show. Come in on the show.
We'll let you do that.
Be a part of the show.
Yep. But hey, we're gonna get out of here, and we'll be back tomorrow from our producer Demetrius and myself. It's On the Hill Media, and it's been talking season. You know what I say? Let's get it. Hey guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's On the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say, let's get it. Hey guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs